after it. Incredible. Hey, today we have got a fun show for me. A highlight of all shows. We're headed to Venice, Louisiana. Gonna do some red fishing, and you know how much I love that. I got a buddy coming to join me, Eric Weir, who is a great guy. I'm looking forward to spending some time with him. But I'm getting to fish with Captain Ron Price, my hero, my guide, my buddy that I've been fishing with for years. Ladies and gentlemen, the world's greatest redfish guide, Mr. Ron Price. Take a bow, brother. Captain Ron Price. And he and I don't get to spend a lot of time in the boat together. This year we're going to get to pull that off. So this is going to be a fun show. You stay with me. I'm Hank Parker.
I've been guiding almost 20 years or so. Best I've ever seen.
There he is. In this corner in the blue, there's Captain Ron Price. My God, I've got me one of them old big ones. I laugh every time. I don't know what it is. I'm like a little kid. I just want to giggle. In this corner, don't say pink. In the orange, hailing from Union, South Carolina. My thumbs are shot. Two-time world champion.
Why'd I do that?
I think it's cool. Can you just pinch me to make sure I hadn't gone to heaven? Look at the waves out here. Good Lord. You know, when I get to Venice, it is adventurous. It's so unlimited. Unlimited. I mean, you can just go for thousands of miles. It's an unending opportunity, and I like all that. I like not being fenced in, and all that freedom just makes it so cool to be able to be on a body of water that offers that much variety and opportunity and endless spaces. There's nothing like that.
Now, I had to pull it away from him because you never want to catch one on the first cast of the day. Now,
can I tell you something though? If you don't catch one on the first cast, you can't win every cast.
All right.
Hey, you know, every time we come to Venice, my standby is always Berkeley Gulp on a jig head and a man's golden croaker mid-minus.
I'm a guy of my word, right?
That's my go-to. I always catch them. Well, this time it's all about Topwater. And so I'm all about Topwater. So I'm not worried about gulps, and I'm not worried about crankbaits. I'm not worried about anything. If I can catch them on top, that's my choice. So, hey, get the old spooks out and the tail dragger, and let's go fishing. The most amazing red fishing can be like. Look at that.
It's the best I've seen in my lifetime.
The best I've seen in my lifetime. So can we say it's the best it's ever been in 2 lifetimes? He don't fit too good, Ron. He don't fit so very good.
This is a moose.
Oh, I got you, I'm sorry. Got it.
Well, so far it's been every cast.
Whew. What pound line are you throwing?
This is a 30-pound braid.
Right behind there.
I hate these slow starts.
It's awful, isn't it? That's the furthest I've pulled one without getting a bite. Uh-oh.
I do a little bit more pause.
I got a bite. I got a bite. Got a bite.
That took at least 10, 12 seconds.
That was the longest I've gone without getting a bite.
I can't imagine fishing in a place that took half a day or 2 days to hook one.
Get a bite.
I'd pack up and head home.
You're spoiled. I'd fish all day to get one like this.
Well, I'm gonna blow your mind by lunch.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't like that at all. Look at, when I was 16 years old, if I had gone to Venice, Louisiana, I would have never been a professional bass fisherman. I'd be down there in a pair of cut-off blue jeans and a t-shirt trying to hitch a ride out on the water to go catch those redfish. It is such an adrenaline rush. I drove a race car for a little bit and loved to race late model cars and really light it up on the back stretch and the adrenaline rush. But that rush fails to compare when that big redfish is peeling that drag. I mean, it is awesome. I know your thumbs are sore. You've been doing this for 4 days.
Let's give them a nice little.
Sounds vicious. Double up, brother. Double up. Well, we start out, you know, it's all about Topwater, and Captain Ron had been down there and he fished with a buddy of mine, Rick Grover from California. Rick owns Anglers Marine. I fished with Rick on Diamond Valley in California, fished with his son Kyle, who is a fishing machine. But Rick had brought a bait called a whopper plopper. Now, believe it or not, my son Ben had given me a couple and told me what a great bass bait they were. And I'm thinking there's no possible way that whopper plopper is gonna hang in there for these big redfish. It's gonna break because it's got this tail on it. Look at him breaking water right here where he just broke. But Rick had caught him and caught him good. Ron had one. He had one whopper plopper, and he gave it to me. This is crazy. After he caught 4 or 5. But it was undoubtedly the bait of choice. Those fish just went nuts over it. It was incredible. It's awesome, look at that. I got them trained, brother.
Oh, dude.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
That is nice. So we called Rick and we called everybody to have them shipped in overnight. And for day number 2, we got a couple in, and day number 3, we got a lot of whopper ploppers. But this bait is an incredible bait for bass. The ultimate redfish. I mean, the redfish went nuts over this thing. Oh gosh, this little American Hero rod has done an awesome job on these giants. But it makes a sound like a buzz bait. It's not like any traditional topwater bait I've ever heard. It's got a much, much deeper sound than any bladed bait. The way this tail drags and catches water and the curl on the tail, it just makes that gurgling noise like you get out of a buzz bait. And it was the bait of choice. You know, before I signed with Lou's last year, that's what I did. I brought all those bass reels down here and fished for these redfish. And I said, we got us a little reel, buddy. I don't know how they can make them so lightweight and make them so incredibly durable.
It really is a good feeling reel.
They're just awesome.
You got one as soon as that thing hit the water, didn't you?
No, I pulled it 2 feet.
Hank's Show is brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. And by Pennzoil and Hobie.
There you go. You got to be in the zone there. These hooks are terrible on this bait.
I'm telling you, I can't believe it. Look at the one tailing right there.
I said, this one's good. This one's good for that. That didn't take long.
Hello. You know, the first time I ever went down to Venice, we were fishing with like 20, 25-pound big game, which was great monofilament line. But the last few years I've been using braid. And Berkeley braid was the ticket. Trilene braid is so awesome.
Oh, he come off?
Yeah. That's not to fear. There's plenty more. but it allows us to catch these fish, fish after fish after fish after fish without retying. You don't have to chase them. It used to be that when you got one of those big 35 to 40 pounders on, you better put that troll motor in the direction that fish is going with 20-pound line, and you better chase them. But with this braid, I use 50-pound trilene braid. Used to be Berkeley braid, now it's called trilene braid. I use 50-pound, and it is just incredible. And it has changed the way we're fished. We're able to get them in the boat a lot faster, and you don't have to chase. So if you get a guy that's hooked up on the front and a guy that's hooked up on the back, which if you got 2 people fishing on this trip, that was an every 5-minute occurrence. So it'd be hard to chase too, but with the braid, you don't have to worry about that. In the old days, one guy's gonna have to sacrifice. We're gonna go after this fish, so that means you're in trouble. But no problem whatsoever with the 50-pound braid. Woo-hoo. Riding along my automobile.
I haven't got that old yet.
I know, you're coming.
It's coming. I figure 3 more years I'm gonna buy one.
No, you got a lot more than 3 years, but I'm in my 40s, brother.
I only look like I'm 22.
This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkeley. Catch more fish. Yeti coolers, built for the wild.
Come back further and just be smooth, and see, keep your thumb on it.
Okay.
But smooth is a big thing. Hey, let me tell you what we're doing. I've got a buddy of mine, Eric Weir, who has been very generous with the FCA.
Oh, I got him.
Water purple up
That
there.
was a good strike. You see that bad boy?
He has bought a fishing trip with myself and paid a lot of money to go fishing with me. All the proceeds going to the South Carolina FCA.
Pretty slick maneuver he had.
Last thing we need to lose our whopper plopper. We do a Hank Parker skeet, trap shoot, fundraiser, auction Hank off, and do a lot of great things. And Eric Weir has been so great. He's bought me every year, and we've never been successful in catching fish. So I said, Eric, come on down. We're gonna go to Venice, Louisiana, and we're gonna catch some redfish.
Is that? That's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
He's beautiful.
Look how many spots he's got on him. Oh, man.
That's awesome.
Oh, he broke the whopper plopper. Oh, he broke the whopper plopper.
Your whopper popper's done.
Good job.
Good instruction and good equipment. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Real good equipment now that we got a plopper. You know, when we did the Warriors on the Water event in Fayetteville, North Carolina at Fort Bragg with all the soldiers, we gave them American Hero rods and reels. This wind will get right, we'll catch a bunch of them. And a lot of the pro guides that they were fishing with, a lot of the anglers, come back and say, man, those things are durable. Man, those rods are tough. I can't get over how strong on and on and on. Well, I've fished with American Hero, and I love them. They're lightweight, they're balanced, they're a great rod. But I've never really looked at them as being a tough rod. So I thought, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take my Lew's Inshore casting reel, and I'm gonna put it on an American Hero rod, and I'm gonna put some 50-pound braid on it, and I'm gonna put a big whopper plopper on it, and I'm gonna go out there and hook me some redfish, and I'm gonna see if this rod's as tough as what they're saying. And I'm gonna tell you what, here it is. Still in one piece, and I bet we caught 50 gigantic reds on the American Hero rod with an inshore Lew's reel. No problem, no problem.
There we go. Come on now.
And while I'm pumping Lew's a little bit, I'll tell you, the first day, Captain Ron, he fished with his rods and reels, and he's got all sorts of rods and reels. He's got stuff he's accumulated over the years that he likes. Well, toward the end of the day, he picked up a couple of my Lew's.
It really is a good feeling reel. It just feels great in your hand.
And so the second day, I fished with Eric Weir, and then that last day, Ron and I got to go back out. He said, how about I just use your tackle? So the next time I go down there, I know that I'm gonna find Ron with a boat full of Lew's. He loved them, they're awesome. He's too big for the net, Eric.
Oh my goodness. Let me get a picture of this guy.
There you go, perfect.
All right. I'm fishing for reds today with Hank Parker.
He's behind you.
Oh, I got him. I got him. All right. We hope to greet him. Come down, Papa.
Let's do him drum.
Make him famous and release him. Hasta la vista, baby.
You got him?
I do have him. Double, double. Woo! I thought you said we're going fishing. This is like a bucket list fishing trip here.
Well, please don't be bucket list. We got a lot more years left,
That's
I
true.
hope.
That's true.
Hank Show is made possible in part by Luz. Feel the difference. Sunsect, insect repellent plus sunscreen combined into one great product. And by Minn Kota. And Talon. Looking for more bass fishing tips and techniques from legendary angler Hank Parker? Go to hankparker.com. You'll have full access to all things Hank, including articles, videos, sponsor news, tips, television schedules, and much more.
Not a double.
Oh, another double.
Martha, I can't come home for a month. He's as big a one as we've got.
Here we go. Bringing it back. He's coming in. He's coming in.
Coming in.
Woo! We got a double netter. Let me go.
It's just as big. Watch this. Come in here. Put your bent rod in the video. You can't. All right, here we go. Wish you were here. Oh, that's what a great release. You're awesome.
Both hooks. That guy took both hooks.
And they call it puppy love.
Oh my God! Did you see that? Oh man! Oh, scared me.
You didn't get it. The golden moose just went down the toilet. That was awesome. Captain Ron Price, the world's greatest charter captain, Venice, Louisiana.
Did you see that? Oh man!
Wow. I really enjoyed Eric, and Captain Ron was just incredible. Man, he knows that water. There's so much water there. It seems like he always knows where to go. He is a hoot to fish with, and the fact he knows that water so well just makes it such a pleasure. Man, I don't even have to think. You know, I just ride with him, and I love doing that. You don't get to do that very often, so fun times, man. Big redfish on Topwater. Hello, Whitney.
Well, I like to do what everyone has controversy with it, but I like to give him a little belly flop. Kind of wakes him up.
How in the world can you beat that? And the whopper plopper, crazy. The whole thing was crazy. It was just so much fun. I've never caught that many on Topwater ever, ever, ever. I mean, it was really exciting. Hope you enjoyed the show. Man, it was fun for me, I promise you that. God bless you. I'll see you next week. I'm Hank Parker.
And don't forget to visit us at hankparker.com, the place for tips, giveaways, and more.
The house needs painting, the grass needs mowing. Where's he at? Gone fishing.